Hey, what's going on there, you guys? It's your girl, Pretty Sexy Driver Brand, aka Sonic Assassin. And of course, you guys, we are back for another review slash recap of Basketball Wives Season 12. And tonight, whenever you're seeing this review, we're reviewing episode 4, which is Friends and Foes Do Vegas. Baby, interesting title. Most definitely know it's going to be an interesting episode just from the title. But before we get into the review, you guys, I want to thank everyone that's been liking, commenting, and subscribing and sharing the videos. Thank you so much. That's what helps me get out there and get seen in front of everyone and helps my dream becomes true as a reality TV personality and review and blogger. Also, shout out to my silent but deadly assassin ninjas. Thank you as always for showing up and coming back and tuning in. But you guys, let's go ahead and tap in and get into our review of Basketball Wives Season 12, Episode 4, Friends and Foes Do Vegas. So yes, you guys, as we open up on this episode of Basketball Wives, we get into our girl Ming's apartment and we see our girl Ming is on the phone with her daughter. And of course Ming is just touching bases and checking in back home. And Ming is having a conversation with her daughter and they're talking. And it's a very cute and lovable light moment. And then we go from that scene into the next scene, in which is our girl Denise, and Denise is also having a one-on-one moment with her daughter as well. And they are prepping for her child's father's birthday and wrapping his gift. And it's actually very nice to see the newbies and them being moms and them just spending time with their kids and talking and having conversation. And it's just a very beautiful moment to see. And then you guys, we go from that scene with our girl Denise inside of her home to our girl Miss Jennifer Golden and her fiance, with her husband Christian. And baby, they are meeting up with Christian's family to get into some tea, you know, about everything that's been going on and about them getting officially married in Las Vegas, which, is very, very good to see. But as we see, they sit down at the table before they even order. They jump right into things, and Miss Jennifer shares with Christian's family, a post that Miss Evelyn made online about real friends and comments and remarks that she's made about Christian. And let's just say, y'all, everybody at the table was not pleased, was not happy, and had choice words to say. But y'all, as we move from that scene to our next scene, we are at our girl Miss Evelyn's house, and it's her, Miss Brandy, Miss Brittany, and our girl Denise, and they are in the kitchen, and they're having a good time. The ladies are having wine, and they're sitting down, of course, kitchen up, and y'all already know we gonna get into the tea, everything that's been going on with the group and the ladies. And of course, our girl Miss Brandy kicks it on open and she shares with Miss Evelyn and the other ladies that, Ty told her about what Ming had said and about how it's Miss Evelyn's fault, kind of, for telling Ty about what she said. She was like, I mean, why does it matter if I think Ty is cute? And it's giving real side eye, but as they're talking about these things and having this conversation, of course, our girl Miss Brandy asks about Evelyn and Miss Jennifer, and how does she feel about everything? And Miss Evelyn says, "Baby, I said how I felt at that event and at the soiree, and if you want to be mad with me, if you don't want to take my choice, I believe man by what I'm saying, then hey, it's cool. That's what you rock with. It's what you rock with." And baby, our girl Miss Brittany even chimes in and gives like her opinions about the situation and everything that's been occurring and happening and been going on. And then, our girl Miss Brandy asks Miss Evelyn or shares with Miss Evelyn, hey, um, so let's plan your birthday weekend in Vegas, and you know, um Jennifer invited me to her wedding And Miss Evans like, oh, so she's getting married on the same weekend as my birthday. Juicy is giving teas, and baby, I mean, it's very interesting to hear and see, but the ladies are kicking and having a good moment about it. I mean, they're not really blowing things out of proportion. And baby, I just cannot wait to see what's going to unwrap and unfold. So yes, y'all. As we get into our next scene, it is our girl Miss Jennifer, and she is in her home. And baby, our girl Miss Jennifer is picking up her phone, and she's calling Miss Jackie Christie and Miss Ming Lee. And baby, she is inviting the ladies to Vegas for her ceremony and her official wedding to her husband Christian. And baby, the ladies is all joy, smiles, and giggles. And baby, Ming was like, "So who all is invited?" And Miss Jennifer shares with me just Miss Jackie, you, and Miss Brandy. And she was like, nobody else is invited. And Miss Jennifer was like, no, it's gonna be a very intimate setting, and she wants the ladies to wear all black. And baby, while they're on the phone having this discussion, Ming drops a little bit of tea to Jennifer about Miss Brandy planning Miss Evelyn's birthday party and about Miss Evelyn calling her and inviting her. And it's the same weekend as Miss Jennifer's wedding. And baby, let's just say everybody on the phone like, and Miss Jennifer said she's shocked because she said Miss Brandy hasn't shared any of this information with her, but she does share with Miss Jackie and Ming that she will not be in attendance to that event or that situation because she is about peace and happiness. Baby, it's some things going on. Okay, in this episode, they is moving and shifting and moving. Baby, and I see it. Okay. And y'all, we go from that scene to our next scene. And it is our girl, Miss Chantel, Miss Brittany Renner, and Miss Denise. And the ladies are taking a dance class before they go to Vegas. And because they are the youngest newbies in the group, it's kind of good to see all of them together because they're all around the same age and the same stages in their lives. All the ladies are moms, all the ladies are very beautiful and, living and thriving in life. And just to see all of them hanging out and getting to know one another and just have conversations about everything, what's been going on in the group, relationships, dynamics, it's well, I ain't gonna say it's kind of it's very refreshing to see because the ladies are very vocal, especially Miss Chantel because baby, she's had experience with this group, even though this is her first time. Well, not her first time, but her like actually being as a cast member in this group. So baby, things for her and her experience already that has occurred is kinda, giving a little remnants. But she's expressing herself to Brittany and Miss Denise are listening, and I think they understand where Miss Chantel is coming from, especially what she's expressing and saying in the situation. Come on, Basketball Wives season 12, baby. So yes, y'all. As we get into our next scene, it is our girl Ty, and she is meeting up with our girl Ming, and they are out on the beach, and they are finna, talk and catch up and have a little conversation because it has been a minute since Ty has seen Ming since she moved out of her apartment, and so they are just like I said, sitting down to catch up and have a little conversation and kind of see where their relationship is going to stand. And Ty brought me some flowers, which I think was very, very beautiful. And I think that shows how much she cares for me and about me. Because she was like, I want to make her smile. So that is good. And my girl Ming is just out on the beach, giving very much so. This is a movie, and baby, wait for my actor. Period. So Ty comes and sits down. She gives Ming her flowers. Then she asks Ming, can she give her a hug? Ming's like, girl, sit down, okay? And let's just say they get into it. Like me opens up the conversation and she's like, "So I called you because I want to have a meeting with you because I know that you're going to Vegas for Evelyn's birthday party and I just want to make sure everything between us is cool and it's straight." And Tyler like, "Yeah, everything's cool, everything's straight between us." But then, it rolls over to the conversation about Miss Brandy, some actions, and what's been going on. And Ty was like, "Well, I did, go see about my eggs. And, we was talking about that, but I went with somebody else." And she told Ming that she went with Brandy. And Ming was like, "Oh, your girlfriend." It's just giving like, ah. So then Ty brings up to me that, she did share with Brandy about, she thought she was trying to be petty, or that she thought that Ming thought that Brandy was trying to be pretty about her makeup. The drama, really, the drama. But y'all, as we move from that scene to our next scene, and it is our girl, Miss Jennifer Williams, Miss Jennifer Gold, and honey, she's inside her home, and she still has a few things to do before she goes to Vegas. But her and her husband are sitting down, and they're having mimosas, and baby, Miss Jennifer shares that, she has some things that she still has to figure out about Miss Brandy and about planning her wedding and Evelyn's birthday. She's like, I need to see what's going on, like what's really happening. And she says, her and Christian are making this thing official because this was always their plan. This was always what they were gonna do. And baby, eat Miss Jennifer. And then y'all, we go from that scene to our next scene. So yes, everyone. Our next scene is all the ladies packing up to go meet up because it is time to go turn up for Evelyn's birthday weekend, baby. And we see all the ladies packing, getting their things together, and then the next thing you know, y'all, we see the ladies in a parking lot, and they're all getting dropped off by black trucks, one by one, and. Our girl, Miss Brandy, has planned this trip, so she got two black Sprinter vans, and she is broken off in groups for each fan. So she put Ming, Brittany, and Evelyn in one, herself, Ty, Jackie, and Denise in one, and Miss Chantel did not make it. And so she's gonna meet the ladies there in Vegas, baby. And let's just say they get in these separate rides, these separate vehicles, and let's just say the tea in both sprinters is juicy. Okay, we got one group of ladies trying to talk about like how Miss Evelyn feels about Miss Brandy throwing her party and Miss Jennifer's wedding, and then like about how she feels about how it's all happening, like it's all one big coincidence. Then we go to the brand with Miss Ty. Miss Ty trying to figure out why she ain't get invited to the wedding because she was like, she ain't did nothing. She new to the group. And Robbie, it's just giving the tease. And I mean, of course, they have nothing to certain things to talk about and only certain things to do as they take this ride. Because, I mean, it does seem like a long ride. They're taking drinks, they're having conversations, they're on the road, baby. And let's just say they turning up in Miss Brandy van and Miss Evelyn's van. The ladies are just very reserved, relaxed, and cool and collective. And baby, of course, our girl Miss Jennifer is also on her way to Vegas because this is her big weekend, and her husband have flown there, and baby, they getting all set up in their hotel. Baby, doing it like the newlyweds do. But then we go from that scene to our next scene, and baby, we are pulling up to the house Miss Brandy got for our girl Miss Evelyn's B day. And baby, we got a poker table, we got a pool, we got a grill. It's giving wealthy, it's giving rich, it's giving rich aunties, pool, and the ladies sit down, they get in the house, and of course. They get to having shots and drinks, and then y'all, we hear a knock at the door, and guess who it is? It is our girl, Miss Chantel, coming in, and she is giving hugs. It's all smiles, it's all giggles. It's just very, 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 very beautiful to see. And Miss Chantel said, I cannot come with the girls. I had to get a nanny and get my kids straight instead before I came because before the turn up begins, I gotta make sure they okay and they close by. And baby, as we get back to everybody being at the table and you know, the alcohol's flowing, conversations and remarks are being had and made, but we see the eyes going. And let me see something. Our girl Ming is ready to get it cracking. Ming, I see you, girl. And Ty was like, okay, y'all, what we supposed to be cheersing to? Ain't we supposed to be cheersing? Yes, Ty, cheers, 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 because baby, the girls, okay. So Miss Brandy then tells all the ladies, that they can go choose their room, go pick their rooms. And baby, the ladies are walking through the house and we get to see room one by one by one by one. And of course our girl Miss Jackie and Miss Evelyn got a room to themselves. As a lot of the other ladies are having to share rooms. And baby, come to find out, guess what the gag is? Ming and Brandy are sharing a room because they're connected. And then not only that, they're sharing a bathroom. So pretty much the two girls who like one girl sharing same spaces, same corridors. See? So yes, y'all. As we get back into our next scene, we are back at the house, and baby, our girl Miss Brandy has dropped a bomb and told everyone she has invited Miss Jennifer, and everybody's looking at her like, "Girl, why you do that?" And Ming was the first person who was like, "Girl, I wouldn't have did that." Because it is kind of interesting to see this whole dynamic. And Miss Evelyn even says, she was like, I don't want her in this house. It's my birthday house. And Miss Brandy says, well, today it's not your birthday. Your birthday is tomorrow. And, hey, I know she's not going to come. I know she's not going to show up. I just extended the invitation because, hey, I don't want her to feel excluded. I want her to be included. Great message received. But I'm like everybody else at the house. I think that's very interesting that you invite someone that you know is not like really on the best terms with another person and then saying, well, I know she's not coming, but I just opened the invitation. And like I'm with me, babe. I got the side eye because I would have never done this. This is not something I would personally did. It's not one of my choices or decisions I think would have been made for someone else's party. But hey, things happen. They go on, and we find out. So also while they are in the kitchen and having conversation and discussion, Ty pulls out seasoning. Ming says, "Oh yeah, I'm not cooking. I'm just gonna be overseer." And Miss Brandy was like, "Obviously, well, I don't need you to oversee. I know how to cook." And Ty says, "You haven't bring the seasoning for what?" She's like, "No, I told you to bring the seasoning for Miss Brandy." And Miss Brandy said, "What you trying to say? I can't cook. I can't season my food." The girls is rolling. Do you hear me with the flames, the hits, the fire? Cause I'm trying to figure out like, girl, what's tea? And then they start having like a little back and forth, and then you know we see the ladies break off into their room. Ty comes in and check on Miss Brandy to see how she's doing, and then Ming busts through the door. And she's like, "Well, I can hear you. I hear you." Baby, the energy the girls is putting down and giving out is very much so rah rah rah, let it go, like baby. So Ming walks out of her room and she goes sit in the room with Miss Chantel and baby they get into trying to figure out so like why is Miss Jennifer coming to Miss Evelyn's party? Like the invitation, like the whole set up Miss Denise is in the room, and of course Ty comes in, and right now this has become a group format discussion, and baby, everybody's like, I knew this, I knew. And Miss Brandy overhears the girls saying what they saying, and doing all the talking. And baby, she don't look pleased about it. So Miss Brandy's gonna go wake it up. She heard the girls talking and she walked into the room. She came and she went in very hot. She told me, girl, if I was trying to be paid about some makeup, I would have been paid about some makeup, girl. I'm not. Let's just say it's giving drama, it's giving tea. Ty done got up. Ty trying to get between the girls. Baby, when I say the girls is putting down and cutting up, the girls is putting down and cutting up. But then y'all, we see our girl, Miss Jennifer and her husband Christian, and they are going to get their marriage license in Vegas. So they're going down to the courthouse to get married at the Justice of the Peace. And baby, we see them walk in. The couple looks very beautiful. They get sworn under oath. And baby, they get to doing their big one. But then y'all, we get back to this house and let's just say things are still going round. Um, Jackie done changed. Okay, Jay got ready. Jay got in her night clothes, baby. Everybody's still going back and forth. Jackie trying to figure out like what's all this about? What's going on? Let's have drinks. Let's sit down. Let's just talk about it. And Miss Brandy is standing up, and baby, Ty and me and Era just like she's like, I'm over this, I'm over everything, I'm over all this. If this how you feel, you can get up and leave. And baby, it is just a kiki. Miss Brandy is like with the girls. She's venting in the room. She is expressing saying what she's feeling. And then she tried to sweetheart somebody, Miss Chantel, and Miss Chantel said, don't sweetheart me back. How many of the girls calm down? About 5, 6 latches on everybody. I need everybody to calm down. Cause baby, Miss Brandy said, I ain't your mama or your child or your husband. Mm. That's very strong to be saying. She's like, I don't care. I don't. It's getting real eggy up in this piece. And you know, I just think it's a lot of alcohol, a lot of miscommunication, and baby, things is waking up, shaking up. Ming and Chantel and Ty, like baby, it's giving drama for your mama as we get to our next and final scene. So y'all, it's like I said, we get into our next scene, which is our closing scene, and it is our girl, Miss Jennifer Golden, and her husband Christian, and they are getting into the car and they are taking a ride through the city. And Miss Jennifer opens up until Christian, about who all is coming to the wedding, who all she invited, and she's names Miss Jackie, Ming, and then she names Miss Brandy, and Christian goes for a complete halt because he's like, wait, I thought she was Team Evelyn. She thinks she's been around with Evelyn. And Miss Jennifer lets Christian know that she had a talk with Miss Brandy and she said that she was going to play neutral and not even get in between them in the situation of what was going on. And Christian was like, but it kind of seems like she already is, like she's already chose her side. And that's when we find out Miss Jennifer shares that Christians really big on energy and they really only want people at their wedding that support them and are in true happiness of their love. And baby, I mean, hey, and we kind of jump from them back to the ladies at the house. And we see all the ladies sitting down at the table and having a discussion. And it's, of course, meantime, Denise, Brett, Jackie, and Miss Evelyn. And then, Ming, like I said, she a little intoxicated, so Ming started saying a few things. Ty grabbed her. They went to go put on their PJs. And, when they left, nobody was in the kitchen but Miss Evelyn and Miss Jackie. And they get to having a conversation and talking. And Miss Jackie asks Miss Evelyn, did they pay the 1,500? And they say no. Miss Evelyn says no. And baby, she's like, but wait, they getting married tomorrow. She feels bad. He don't feel bad about all those people. Like, baby, it is one big mess. Do you hear me? And then Brittany comes back at the table and she joins them. And it's just a lot going on. Miss Jackie says, you know, she knows Miss Jennifer is over at this point and she's not trying to hear Miss Evelyn. Y'all, it's so much. Jeez. But y'all, that's how we close out Basketball Wives season 12, episode 4, Friends and Foes Do Vegas. Y'all, it has been your girl, Princess Charlotte Brand, aka Sloan Sexton. Until next time, remember, be safe, be careful, and bye, y'all.